Alright, guess who's back? It's your boy E King Fight News. And Deontay Wilder is once again firing back at Eddie Hearn, essentially saying that $3 million offer ain't shit. It ain't shit. That's what Deontay is saying. You know what? This needs to be fact-checked because I'm not sure how much Deontay Wilder actually makes for his fights. I believe his largest purse to date has been $1.5 million. So, if Deontay Wilder got offered double what he's ever been made at $3 million guaranteed to fight a guy that's, that got knocked out, by Joshua and knocked the fuck out. Joshua knocked this dude smooth the fuck out. Yeah. And had toe-to-toe wars with guys like Derek Chisora. Now, Derek Chisora is far past his prime. And Dillian Whyte barely, he could not get a clean victory over Derek Chisora. So here's Deontay Wilder saying, you know what, that $3 million is not good enough. Eddie Hearn's got to raise that price. He's got to bring it up to $6 or $7 million, and we can make that fight happen. That's very interesting. It is to me. That's very, Deontay Wilder, once upon a time, he went over to the UK. He fought Audley Harrison, knocked him smooth the fuck out in 1 round. 1 or 2 rounds. And then after that, he called out Tyson Fury. Now, I know Deontay Wilder used to fight in the US, but he traveled over to Russia. He was ready to get into the ring with Alexander Povetkin before Povetkin tested positive. I'm not sure what his purse was for that fight. I'm sure it was a substantial pay. I'm sure I believe it was in the range of $4 to $5 million. I believe this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's in that range. He was supposed to make that much to fight Povetkin, but the fight fell through. And that went over into the courts. That spilled over into the courts, yeah? But Deontay Wilder now is borderline ducking this dude, Dillian Whyte. This is borderline ducking to me. I don't know. I don't see why Deontay Wilder is hell-bent on saying, I'm above Dillian Whyte. He's fought a lot of, quote-unquote bums. Deontay Wilder hasn't fought top-flight competition. And to his credit, not all of that is his fault. He was supposed to fight a highly anticipated Luis Ortiz in a mega heavyweight matchup, much like Anthony Joshua was supposed to face his mandatory Kubrat Pulev. Now, I hope Kubrat Pulev gets pulled from his mandatory status because I don't buy this whole fucking injury a week or two before the fight. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. But that's between the WBA or that's between the IBF and Kubrat Pulev, whether he maintains his mandatory position, because that's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Two weeks before a fight, fighters do have to suck it up and take the challenge head on, regardless of an injury, depending on the severity. Yeah, I know Andre Ward went into that first fight with Kovalev with a knee injury. Manny Pacquiao apparently he went into that Floyd Mayweather fight with a shoulder injury. Or he re-injured it, I don't know. I still don't know what the fuck happened to Manny Pacquiao that night. But something happened to his shoulder at some point in the fight or before the fight. Now, in this case, Deontay Wilder has a big payday in front of him to beat a borderline, B-level fighter in Dillian Whyte. And that is a really great stepping stone to call out Anthony Joshua in the UK. And the thing is, it's like, there's a lot of funny talk going on between both camps. Eddie Hearn's coming out, basically negotiating through the media, saying, you know what, this is not going to be a 50-50 split. It's hard for Anthony Joshua to fight in the U.S. He's such a huge draw. I think Wilder's going to have to come over here. That's basically what he's saying. He's saying Wilder's going to have to come over to UK. So he's already giving up a lot. In terms of, like, say what happens if that fight goes to the cards. Do you think Deontay Wilder's going to win a decision over in the UK? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But at the same time, does Deontay Wilder win decisions? No, he knocks people the fuck out. So, this whole process of finalizing a Deontay Wilder-Anthony Joshua fight, it's certainly going to take some time. But Deontay Wilder's not doing him any favors. He's not doing himself any favors by not embracing a fight with Dillian Whyte. He's not. Dillian Whyte would be a really solid fight, and it would be a step above, I think, guys like Chris Arreola, Gerald Washington, the guys that Deontay Wilder's been fighting. Apart from Bermane Stiverne, who's been severely inactive, Dillian Whyte is still a step above Bermane Stiverne. So, I think Deontay Wilder has to realize there is a huge future potential if he beats down Dillian Whyte. And he has the clout to try and bring over Dillian Whyte and have that in the U.S. He can do that. He's got that type of... He's the A side. So he can make that demand. Is it a bigger fight in the UK? Absolutely. But Deontay Wilder's the champion, and he has the absolute right to negotiate where some of the terms will be in his favor. Absolutely. No question about it. Currently, Dillian Whyte's fighting for the WBC silver title, whatever the fuck that is, versus Robert Helenius. And that should bring him up in those WBC rankings. Dillian Whyte is campaigning to fight Deontay Wilder. Make no question about it. He's trying to get himself ranked in the top 10, top 5, and try and secure that fight. He is gunning for Deontay Wilder, and he understands that, if he fought Joshua again, he's got a slim chance to win. He's got a slim chance, and he's looking at Deontay Wilder like this. I can beat this dude, and I think Deontay Wilder is making a mistake by saying, because this is what he's saying on this day of October 24th. Deontay Wilder is saying he doesn't need a fight with Dillian Whyte. No, he doesn't need that fight. Well, you know what? Something has to entice. We're at the point where Anthony Joshua is a clear A side in a fight with Deontay Wilder. And Anthony Joshua is acting like he's above Wilder. He is. He's saying, you know what? I don't need to fight with Wilder right now. We can have that shit in 2019, 2020. So there's got to be something that brings a lot of attention to Deontay Wilder and brings a lot of attention to Anthony Joshua. Wilder needs a breakout performance. And even if he knocks out Bermane Stiverne, I'm not sure that that's a breakout performance. Now, would I like to see Bermane Stiverne fight a guy like Dillian Whyte just to see where, who's really top class? Absolutely. But that hasn't happened yet. So, I just think Deontay Wilder's making a mistake by not going back and forth with Dillian Whyte and just talk shit with him. Say, I would fuck you up. Come over to fucking Alabama and let's make a fight happen. Like, I'd like to see that at the minimum. I'm surprised how dismissive he is of a Dillian Whyte fight, considering the lack of opposition on his resume. And once again, there's an asterisk there because he's had so many fighters scheduled to fight him test positive. So, that's all I think for now. What do you guys think? Is Wilder ducking Whyte? Is Wilder ducking Whyte? That's the question I have. E-King Fight News.